Yikes. I haven't even tried to be funny yet, though, so we're okay. I live in Brighton. I've had all types of roommates through the years, the good, the bad, and the Craigslist. One of the worst situations I had is when I tried to live with a heroin addict. Always difficult dealing with that level of addiction. I remember the final conversation I had with him. I told him, "Pick your spoon." Pick your spoon. You're burning every spoon in the house. And you know how hard it is to stop eating Ben and Jerry's with little chunks of heroin on it? And Cinnamon Toast Crunch, forget about it. That shit's heroin to me already. It's a great cereal. I moved to the Boston area to go to music college, which, if you don't know, leads to a great career in dog walking. It's good to spend about $200,000 to spell a B-flat major chord while you're picking up after a foo-foo dog in 90-degree heat. One reason I came to Boston besides music college is because I thought it would be a very liberal place. I came from Arkansas, which is in the notch of the Bible Belt. When I moved here, I thought it would be so liberal that I walked through the airport, I'd see a lesbian vegan getting an abortion, which isn't true, so it's good that you didn't laugh. Like I said, I came here for music college. When I moved here, I met a guy, Thomas Pritchett, that got so good at music. He went on to play with the Mars Volta. I got to be good friends with the guy, Dwan Parker, that went on to produce with Dr. Dre. Meanwhile, while I was there, I only got good at name dropping. One of the people I became good friends, actual friends with, is my good buddy Dan, and another guy who kind of became famous. His name is Eric Andre. Dan was an elite musician that actually plays with Avril Lavigne now. Like all elite musicians, he had several bands he just hated. And one of those bands was 311. So what Eric Andre did is made a bunch of posters looking to start a 311 cover band called Dan and put them all over the school. So what Dan did was eventually he changed his number. Well, Eric knew his new number, so he just made more flyers. He was very dedicated to this goof. And eventually Dan went to the school and got them involved. Well, what Eric did was he figured out where Dan's classes were and just put them in places where Dan would never see them. And yeah, it was quite a good prank. Yeah, it was funny, actually. I played in a band for years, as Zach said. We were kind of like a behind the music without the success part. Like if you just thought of a band that played 50 shows a year, someone got addicted to drugs, someone quit, and then it was over. I was excited, but for the last 2 years of the band, I was a single man, you know. I thought I'd hook up with young ladies and have fun in that sense. It didn't really work out that way, though. I think part of the problem I had was I would try to use a cool line, you know. Cool lines don't work. Am I right, ladies? Boy, this room is brutal, Valley. You were right. Yikes. I would try to come up with a cool line. Like I would tell girls I was Sting's brother. Stung. Just not a good way to increase affection, you know? After that, I was a single man, no band. Thank God for Tinder, am I right? This guy knows. Tinder guy. One of the girls I dated had the tattoo DTF in the front. Can you believe that? DTF. Do you know what that means? Down to fuck. See, there you go. This guy's a tomcat. He gets it. I had the same thought that most of you men have when I saw that. I am definitely wearing a condom with this one. And she had the thought most of you ladies have. I am not fucking this dude. I recently ate at the Southern Ken restaurant. Have you guys had this, Southern Ken? It's a Southern-style restaurant in the Boston area. And when you enter, they say, "Howdy, y'all!" They say, "Howdy, y'all!" As a guy from the South, it feels really forced, you know? Like she was told to say that. You know, like if you went to a restaurant named Boston's in Lexington, Kentucky, and they were like, "Don't park your car in Harvard Yard," you'd be like, that's not really the accent or why you would say that. You enter the restaurant. Here at Boston's, walk this way. We're the only restaurant that still has a roundabout. We basically just paved where the horses walked, which is like a really good way to plan a restaurant if you're in that market. You sit down. Tonight at Boston's, we have two specials. For an entree, we have our roads only have 4 different names. And for a dessert, we have my brother from Fall River has an oxy addiction, which is a very dark dessert. It's very, very dark. Like I said, my mom doesn't get Facebook, which is fun, you know? Like I'll promote that I have a show, say whatever date it is in whatever club I'm at currently. Come on down, you know? And my friends will be like, "Oh, I'd like to come, but I'm getting a rhinoplasty." And then under that, my friend writes, "Oh, your comedy has come so far." And under that, my mom will write, "Your Aunt Mildred is sick." I'm like, that's not really what this is for, Mom. I'll call you later, though. How much time do I have? Oh, perfect. I got one more joke. This one is going to delight you because you clearly love heroin-based material, of which I have much. Like I said, I played in a band for a super long time. One of the funniest stories happened in Worcester, Mass. You guys know Worcester, Mass? Or as my GPS calls it, Worcester, which is appropriate because there's nothing Worcester. The town is terrible. Let's all agree on that. Can we get a round of applause for Worcester being awful? We were hanging out in front of the bus, and up strolls a guy, and he says, "Yo, yo, yo, I got the best heroin in Worcester." And I was like, "Yeah, man, we really don't do heroin. Thank you so much, but we're all set." And he said, all right. I got the best cocaine on the East Coast. And I said, well, I wouldn't mind the Pepsi challenge with that. I'll do some free blow if you guys are just saying. It's a fabulous drug if you haven't tried it. That being said, we're all set with drugs. We really appreciate it. if you'd just be on your way. And he said, all right. I got Men in Black 2 on DVD. My name's Tiny, and that's my time. Happy